Hey, folks at home, to another episode of Jamin's Daily, giving a special shout out, happy birthday, to my favorite brother in law, Seth Kaler, frequent guest of the show. It's his 48th birthday. Sorry to put it out there, folks, but he's 48. I called him to wish him happy birthday. I've known this man for 30 years. And so I'm wishing him happy birthday. We start to talk about how it's his 48th birthday, and we conclude that nobody gives a crap about your 48th birthday. Okay? When you turn 50, we'll have a big shindig. But you're 48. No one cares. All right? I'm happy you're alive. I called you to wish you happy birthday. I'm gonna give you a gift card when I see you next time. All right? I hope you have a good day. Click. That's how men do happy birthdays. So I wish him well. Hope he had a great day. I'm going to plug his podcast. So Seth Kaler, frequent guest, producer of the show, had his birthday today. And you need to check out his podcast, When I Was Little. So before I started the podcast, I Googled Seth because I wanted to plug him. So I tried to look on YouTube his podcast. I couldn't find it. So I put in his name, and I find there's a couple of videos that he's done in the past, but some of them are when he's guest on our podcast. There he is. There he is. There again. But what I found was, I don't even know if he remembers this. I'm sure he does. But the last time he's seen it online, there's a video here that's titled, let me find it again. Where'd it go? What? There it is. Last happy hour 8 years ago. That's Seth's dad. It's 22 minutes. I almost want to watch. It's got 175 views. It's pretty good. I want to check that out. I'm going to have to put it to my watch later. But happy birthday, Seth. You have been a great friend for many years. And I value our friendship. But moving on. Today, October the 4th, 2021. Now that I'm looking here that I put Seth Kaler in as on YouTube, there's quite a bit of content here, Seth. You got something to be... You're rivaling... Alamon Agency Christmas 1. This is 2 years ago. Oh... So, folks, yeah, if you just look up Seth Kaler on YouTube, you'll see why he was my producer. He was my executive producer. Taught me how to do many things when it comes to being able to post stuff on Facebook and YouTube and making videos. So, shout out, happy birthday, Seth. I wish you many, many more. When we get back, we're gonna touch up on... Man, I had it in my mind. I wanted to talk about something. What was it? Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to edit this out. I was going to discuss this super cool... So, at night. Folks, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think other people do this too. I'm sitting at home. I read an article how there's this huge increase and a larger percentage of people who watch YouTube actually watch it on their smart TV. Okay, at home. They're on a smart TV. They're watching YouTube on a smart TV, not on their computer, not on their phone, on their own TV, which I have been doing more and more of. So I'm sitting here on a Sunday night, My kids are at their mother's house, so I can relax, right? Because I have a 4 and 6 year old, and when I'm watching them, you can't relax. It's hard to. You can, but it's very difficult. You're always on. Like in any given moment, you have to be like on. So when they're not here, you can, you can actually relax, right? So I'm sitting there trying to relax, realizing I have all these streaming services. I literally have the world wide web on my TV trying to find something to watch. So I go on YouTube, streaming and streaming, searching and searching. I can spend a whole hour just browsing through content on numerous HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus. I have all those. In addition to YouTube TV, the normal YouTube, I can spend a whole hour just browsing all those and not watching a single thing. But yesterday I came across a video of it's a video. It was a YouTube channel. I'm sorry. Well, I came across a video of a man fixing a boot. So an artisan fixing a boot, like a shoe repair. So I look into this, start watching it. Well produced, highly produced, great lighting, great equipment. I mean, an amazing channel. I mean, they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. So they're doing it right. Great equipment, I mean, the whole thing is shows them fixing shoes and like shoe repair. That's all it is. But it's so educational. It's so cool to watch them do it. They even did an episode, an ASMR, because while they're doing this, it makes noise. The whole process of them, there's a sound to it. Well, normally they're talking while they're doing it. Well, one of the episodes that I watched, the guy brings up, their name is, I think it's Trent and Heath, like Heathcliff, but just Heath, Heath, Heath. I don't think I've ever known a Heath or a Trent. They're two white dudes. I think they're in Nashville. Good looking fellas. I would wonder, I bet you they get it, because they also do like women's shoes. They even have an episode like with Manolo Blahniks. They're doing stuff. Bet you they have a pretty high percentage of women in their subscribers. But it's great either way, man. I watched like I spent an hour watching these guys do different videos, fixing different kinds of shoes, and it was great. So I'm thinking, we're going to switch directions slightly here on Jamin's Daily. And I'm going to try to produce some content going forward. Specifically, I have permission from my son's mother, Jude. We're going to do an update. I did a video about a year ago on my son Jude, who has muscular dystrophy. Talked about the genetic disorder and had a great response. And so going forward, getting around when it comes to the educational videos, I think I'm going to do a couple of educational videos with my son, showing our routine and his stretching and in putting on his braces at night. I mean, I think I do about a 5 to 10 minute video of doing that, talking about Duchenne's muscular dystrophy and the importance of stretching and his braces, putting them on, giving some tips. Trust me, when I found out my son had DMD, and then we went and bought a pair of $2,000 braces. It's literally plastic, folks. It's polymer, fitted polymer. But okay, I digress. So we get these braces. And they're teaching you, the people who are making them, they're trying to tell you how to do this, how to do that. I never watched a YouTube video. Did not want, I mean, I had one-on-one instruction, I guess, which is better. But YouTube tutorials are basically one-on-one instruction. You're watching it. It's 1-on-0. It's me and then a computer. Can we count the computer or YouTube as one? But you get what I'm saying. It's almost like a one-on-one. So I'm gonna show folks maybe very niche little video, because Duchenne's muscular dystrophy is rare. It's literally classified as a rare genetic disorder. Not a lot of people need this information, but I'm hoping it's going to be highly viewed and highly educational, because that's what I'm going to make. That got me thinking when I was watching Heath and Trent, or Trent and Heath. I don't know which order it is, but they were doing educational videos on YouTube, killing it. So I've just been doing a lot of, pulp culture, current events, whatever comes to mind. Now I'm thinking, do an educational video. It can live on forever. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to do one, reintroduce, re-educate, update on my son Jude, while at the same time doing a public service, showing folks, talking about this genetic disorder, but then also helping the folks that, people who may have this. Trust me, you think, what are the odds? Did you ever think I was going to have a son with special needs who I have to put his braces on and stretch him all the time? I want to show folks what it's like, how you can do it, and how much fun he has with it. He's a great sport with it all. So stay tuned for that. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we are going to find a quick topic to touch on, quick segment to finish this show with. Don't forget, it's Jamin's Daily. Subscribe, share, like, do all those things. We're trying to grow the channel. I have some amazing opportunities that I'm going to elaborate more on, either in future. I got to keep it real close. I just don't want to share things right now. I got to keep it kind of, just, you'll see it. You'll see it when it happens, okay, guys? But there's some exciting things going on in terms of Jamin's Daily and my situations when it comes to production. All right, so I'm fixing to be able to. I'm going to be working with some new people in a executive producer role. Okay, all this hard work. We're talking 80-something episodes, a year and a half of just being behind the mic. When I was starting out, everyone's like, "Oh, podcast, you do podcasts." People do 10 podcasts and they quit. It takes a lot of time and effort to do 80-something episodes. And we're going to do 800. You hear me? 8,000. We're just going to do them. And we're going to try to make progress all along the way. Learning, because that's what it's about. It's about constantly learning and bettering oneself. I was like, you know what? I could do a podcast. I can learn how to do a podcast. I can learn how to get a mixer, get some lighting, get the equipment, a Mac. I had never used a Mac, ever. But I was like, how can I most easily record and edit some content? They're like, oh, you need a Mac. So I went and bought a Mac. And I'm pretty happy with it. Those are things. Sometimes you got to go for it, folks. So we're going for it right now. And I'm excited to let you know that over another year and a half, we're just going to get better. Yours truly is going to learn even more about AV, audio, video, computer club, nerd alert. You know what I'm saying? All in jest and fun. But I'm learning this. Self-taught. But no, I take that back. Seth Kaler. And I'm hoping to work with, I don't want to drop any names. I got to get some permission. But I'm going to drop some names. maybe on the break. When we go on the break, I'm going to send some texts, see if I got the permission to drop some names when we get back. So to stick with us. Hey guys, it's Jamin. Back from the break. Another episode of Jamin's Daily. You know, I didn't even send out the text. I'm not asking for permission. I'm not dropping any names. What I'm going to tell you is that I'm going to be working a little closely with a production company. I'm talking about a real one. Not my imagined executive producing company. A real one. Like people who make a living making videos and producing content. And we're working with these guys. And what I'm hoping to have access to is their top of the line amazing equipment that I don't have. Okay? We're working on a budget. Balling on a budget. But now we may have access to some better equipment, folks. So we're going to try to make it happen. I'm going to show them, I'm going to send them this video and be like, listen, I'm talking about you on the internet. So we got to make this happen. What can I do to use your camera? Because if you've been watching the podcast, I'm shooting this on my Mac. Like I'm going way back. This is what I used to do 50 episodes ago. Okay? 50 episodes, 60 episodes ago. This is how we would shoot the episodes. Straight audio, straight video from the Mac. It was super easy. But when I try to incorporate other things, it just wasn't fast enough. It just wasn't enough processing power. So we had to, upgrade. But then my camera went out. We just had a lot of, every time I think we're getting past these technical difficulties, we come across a new one. So, we just have to adapt. It's all about solutions to the problem. So we find them. So here we are on October the 4th, the date of Seth Kaler's birth. Sending you, once again, Seth Kaler, a happy, very, very, very happy birthday. But for this final segment of Jamin's Daily, we are going to touch on a topic that's near and dear. I lied. I said I was gonna try to talk about. No, that's not what I want to talk about. So talking about getting back to working with the production company and maybe taking a step forward. I'm always been enticing the audience with the fact that you got to stick with us because the best is yet to come. And when I mean that, it means it's just everything. I remember one time seeing like a retro, like a Joe Rogan episode from 12 years ago or something, from 2009 or something. And then you see the evolution. So that's one of the main reasons why I've been doing this, because it's not like I'm getting hundreds of, even thousands of views, folks, even hundreds of views. I mean, I've gotten hundreds and thousands of views altogether, but not on a single video. But the whole thing is, it's really, I can only imagine the coolness and I just hope this stays. I heard that YouTube is actually gonna purge a lot of this content because it's just taking up space on some server and it's not making no money because there's not enough views in it. But it's all on my external hard drive too, so that's another way to look at it. But if it stays on the internet, it's gonna be such an amazing way. Can you imagine my grandchildren watching this and be like, "Oh, look, there's Popo on the internet talking about whatever." So I always look forward to that. So if anyone ever thinks, "What the heck? Why is Jamin even doing this?" Doing it for two reasons. One, to learn how to do it, and two, to archive stuff. But getting back to collaborating with this production company, they're very talented individuals. So I'm very lucky and in a fortunate situation to be able to maybe even use some of their equipment and piggyback basically off their own knowledge and resources to gain, learn myself. I'm thinking I'm gonna have them as a guest. I'm gonna have at least one. They're two people. So I'm trying to have them both, but at least one. I'm gonna have them as my next guest. They're business owners, so this is a little bit of a tease for the next episode. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's been 80 something episodes and well over a year now, folks. So I'm not where, honestly, doing a little bit of self-reflection, some accountability. I'm not where, the podcast isn't where I wanted it to be. But the cool thing about it is that we're still doing the podcast. So it's almost like was the first, I've hit a benchmark. We're gonna get to 100. Don't forget that 100th podcast is gonna be the celebrity boxing match between me and Martin Pena, coming soon, early December in Austin, Texas. Save the date. Tell your friends. That's happening. But until then, you stick with us, folks, because the best is yet to come.